Hello, good evening, gentlemen. Welcome back, friends. I am so glad to welcome you back to Wrong Side of the Wall. A little bit of a diversion. We are a man down, so the finale of Tossed Ashore will be coming next week. It's going to be epic. But in the meantime, I am excited to bring you tonight's one-off entitled "If You Go Into the Woods Today." So really happy to be here. Just like with our last Wrong Side of the Wall one-off, we're doing something a little different that doesn't involve Roll20 and dice and all of that. So for the players' knowledge, we're not capturing anything tonight except for Tabletop Simulator. So there is a little chat here, but don't chat in Roll20 because we're not picking that up tonight. So I have an audio clip to play to bring us in, and then I will explain exactly what's going on here. Here we go. A light burns brightest when surrounded by darkness. When all other lights go out, a single candle can become a sigil of hope. A final, tentative hope, at least. That's what's left on our subject world tonight. A last candle burning quickly against an ever-expanding darkness. When a mysterious fog descends upon the populace and drives almost all to death and madness, a small group of scientists scramble for a cure. And when a mysterious beacon, promising to make all things right, appears on the other side of a vast and deadly forest, the small group has no choice but to venture in. They steel themselves because they know they are the last hope for a desperate planet on the wrong side of the wall. Okay, and that is that. So, welcome once again to the Wrong Side of the Wall. Our one-off, like I said, is titled "If You Go in the Woods Today," or "If You Go into the Woods Today," rather.
You're not coming out.
Maybe depends on how things go down. So tonight, gentlemen, each of you are playing scientists, who, for whatever reason, have found themselves in a world gripped by madness. As the intro mentioned, a mysterious fog/mist has ascended on most of the planet and driven people out of their minds. So think sort of zombie scenario here, although nobody's undead exactly. People are just bonkers and running around and violence and chaos and all of that. So the
They're all
four of
cray
you
cray.
have the four of you have found yourselves in an interesting position because for some reason the gas has not affected you. So much like the survivors from, say, I don't know, Left 4 Dead or whatever, you found that for whatever reason, passing through the fog only does what normal fog does, aka makes it harder to see and maybe a bit harder to breathe. But as far as you can tell, there are no other side effects, not like the kinds of side effects that are affecting not only the people of this world, but also the various animals as well. And as fortune might have it, each of you are scientists, geniuses in your own right, who, as far as you can tell, are the only people who seem to be immune. You're all from different walks of lives. Maybe you were all from different countries, but you've all gathered together in one facility to try to put some kind of cure together. And very recently, you've all had a breakthrough. You've managed to create a few sample vials of what you think might be able to cure this madness. The problem is you're not 100% sure how to disperse it yet. You don't have enough to like dissipate the fog, and your sample size would maybe help 10 people, possibly. There's not really any way to trial it. However, um, in the midst of all of that, the sort of eve of your discovery that this might be your best chance at a cure, each of you are mysteriously contacted over, a wireless radio of some sort. The entity on the other side does not identify himself, and the only thing you can really tell from his voice is that he's male. And he gives you a very strange and obscure message. He tells you that there is hope. Find the beacon. I'm on the other side of the woods. And while some of that is a mystery, you at least reckon on what the woods might be. Your facility, that's what Bears would say. Um, your facility is located near a vast, huge forest. Like, don't think like like a little arboretum or like park woods behind a community center. Like, think like the Black Forest in Germany or a huge forest in like Midwest United States or something like that. Um, like woods it would take like multiple days to traverse from one clearing to the next clearing kind of thing. Um, your transportation is very limited. Uh, and none of you have a plane or a helicopter available. Even finding a car or something like that is very difficult. Most of them have been smashed to smithereens, and most of the people with the missiles and the bazookas have gone nutso and made sure that most modes of transportation are so much smoking wreckage. And besides, those kinds of modes of transportation would not help you traverse a forest. Um, the forest is not particularly safe. You know that this is definitely a place where we made our own helicopter. Geniuses. um, we the forest is not particularly safe. It's not ever been really cleared. There is a sort of a nature path, and we'll get to that in a moment. But otherwise, it's a pretty dangerous place. But the alternative is walking out onto like highways in clear sight of people who would really, really like to eat you or just tear you limb from limb, depending on what their mood is like today. So here's what I need from each of you. You're all Doctor Such and Such. So all each of you need to come up with in terms of character creation tonight is a name. You can be either male or female. Doesn't really matter. Also doesn't really matter what your ethnicity is or background or anything like that. All you need to decide in the next couple of minutes is a name. While you're thinking about that, I'll talk a little bit about what you have in terms of gear and stuff like that. The intro mentioned vials and shoddy weapons, so we'll start with the shoddy weapons.
And before you go into that,
Oh.
as we're thinking about the names, you mentioned we don't need to care about ethnicity or anything like that, but what would be a common name in this world? Should we be going for Anglo-Saxon names, Indian influenced, East Asian?
Completely up to you.
All right.
So,
this is just Terra 2. Everything is very Earth-like.
So,
that's
the
what
names
I'm guessing.
Go backwards.
This is very much a like international. These are kind of very much like the Pandemic board game. They're supposed to be from all walks of life coming together to save the world, kind of thing. So, doesn't really matter where you've
I'm the
come
medic.
from.
I called it.
So, yeah, everyone wants to be the medic. That's how you play Pandemic. The medic or the guy who shields
the shield guy.
city. Yeah, one of those two.
I'm both of them. Sorry,
Forestry
guys.
specialist?
Wow.
Yeah, no. I'm the
Nice.
shield medic.
The
Nice.
cheats.
I throw shield at you that heal you.
Nice. Like Doc's health bullets.
It's like Captain America, except I'm better. I'm Captain Canada.
Ooh, nice. Anyways, like I said, while you're thinking about names, I can see Thomas has typed his name in already. Cool. Let's talk a little bit about what gear you have. Each of you have a walkie-talkie. You've all tuned it to the same channel, so you are able to communicate with each other. Each of you have a backpack with enough, food and rations and stuff like that to make the day and a half hike or so that you think will be necessary. So you don't need to worry about that. You have practical stuff like flashlights and flares and rope, etc., etc.
Basic survival gear is that?
Basic survival gear. So I'm gonna be pretty nice and lenient when it comes to that. The only things we're going to think seriously about is what you have in terms of what you might call weaponry.
But it's just a forest. We won't need new weaponry.
So this is what you have amongst yourselves, and we're going to draw to decide who gets to pick what. Your weapon arsenal consists of a handgun with a single clip. The clip has 10 shots. A metal baseball bat.
I am so sorry. I thought that would just delete mine.
Oh, that's okay. A pair of really nice sharp steak knives, and an old acoustic guitar. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have everybody draw a card from the deck, and the highest number with ace being high will get to pick one of the weapons in descending order until they have all been chosen, and that is like your equipped weapon for tonight's session.
Okay.
How do I delete just my thing?
I have no idea.
If you go hover over it with a text tool, a little garbage trash can will appear above it, and then you want to click on that.
Oh, no, I just created another.
Yeah,
It's
it's clipping into the table, so you're having a hard time seeing it.
Shit. Good job, guys.
Action type here.
I haven't figured
Oh,
out how
there
to
we go.
rotate yet.
Oh, like the
I
whole
don't think you
thing?
can.
The text.
Yeah,
Hold
once it's down, I think it's down.
Oh.
Yeah.
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 Interesting.
So
this-
what you're gonna want to
that's
do
really
is you're
kind
gonna
of
want to,
genius.
if you want it rotated, you're gonna want to flip so you're looking at your picture, and then type it from that side.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
Is this 3D tool not designed explicitly with the intent of writing text at all orientations or not? Like, come on.
With the intent of
come
making
on.
life easy? Yeah, no.
Dr. Samuel Brass, Dr. Luke Loveness, nice, got the alliterative.
Ah, good old Dr. Doctorson. It's a family profession.
Yeah, his parents had very specific expectations
Right.
on him.
Yes.
And they reinforced those by giving him no first name.
That's right.
It's funny
Yeah.
though because
What are you
it's
talking about? My
funny, though,
first name
because
is
they-
Doctor.
It's funny though because he comes from a family of Smiths.
Hmm. Huh. Well, his parents wanted him to move up in the world. That's all.
And then you can't move it once you've placed it, can you?
No, the text tool in this game is not.
Hell,
Not
Great.
sake.
No, it's definitely this is definitely not a typing game.
What?
All right. So, anyways, as soon
All right.
as you're done,
There we go. He
Oh,
does
go.
have a first name.
Dr. Doc Doctorson. I mean, it's about as good as some of the comic book villains. So.
Everyone else's is so nice and in the right spot. Why you guys got to do this to me?
All right, don't be too picky. It's not that.
Chris's is upside
essential.
down.
So it's not upside down to me though. So
It's upside down to me. So it should be right side up for everybody
Wait,
else.
wait. So, oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, yeah, you guys are confusing me again. Oh my goodness. I'm like, okay, but Hadden the cat is the GM.
I'm the
why
GM.
why is Chris the GM? And I'm like,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, sorry. I'm on Chris's account.
ah.
Yeah. Nice. Dr. Samuel Brass, PhD,
PhD, DDS.
He's a dentist. Nice.
Don't forget the doctor of DDR.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. So
Dance,
thank you so much.
doctor.
We'll use that for your names tonight. If everyone could please draw a card from the top of the deck, you can hit the F key on your keyboard to flip it. So
I'll flip something.
Are aces high or low?
aces are high.
Okay.
Yeah. So just waiting on Christian to draw a card. And then the F
How
key
do you
to
flip it?
F.
Oh, okay.
So Kirk, you drew the
Gosh.
highest card. You get to pick your weapon first.
What are the weapons?
So we have
Handgun,
a-
10 bullets, a metal bat, really nice and sharp steak knives, and an acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
Nathaniel, is the acoustic guitar steel string or
steel string.
Okay.
Okay, so a handgun, a bunch of really fancy knives, a steel bat, and a guitar.
Yep.
Take the guitar.
I was like, can I be a bard? I will take You know what, Dr. Doctorson, Dr. Doc Doctorson. Oh my God, that's gonna be hard to say. Oh,
Yep. You made your bed.
You did this to yourself.
I am proud. I am proud. As a doctor for all doc type stuff, so he's gonna take the handgun.
Okay. Cool. Christian, you're next. What would you like?
Kirk took
The handgun.
The handgun, of course.
I can
I'm
kill
gonna
6
take
things
the
before I shoot all
knives.
of us.
I'll take the knives.
Okay, so you have 2 very sharp steak knives.
Dope.
I'll take the guitar.
Take the guitar. Okay, Chris, that leaves you with a metal baseball bat.
Alrighty.
Cool. Excellent. All right, so I will take that into account if you need to do something dangerous. I will take into account what kind of weapon you have. So this is what we're going to do tonight. I thought this was really cool. So the last time we did a one-off, we used Dread, and thus we used a Jenga tower, which was really fun. Although obviously tabletop simulator, not the most amazing physics engine in the world. Tonight, what we're going to do instead is we're actually going to use this deck of cards, and every time you do an action, you're going to play a game of Blackjack against me. So if you're not familiar with Blackjack, what happens is you get 1 card face up, 1 card face down. I would get the same. And you are trying to get as close to 21 without going over. So what happens is you'll get 1 card face up, face down. You can't look at your face down card, so all you'll get is your face up card. And then you can say either stay or hit me. If you hit, then you get another card, and you can keep doing that until you either bust or you say stay, and then your face down card gets revealed. In this case, 7 and 7 is 14, plus 5 is 19. So you're 19, that's pretty good. And then I would do the exact same thing. If you beat me in the blackjack hand, your action succeeds, whatever it is. If you lose against me in the blackjack hand, something really bad happens.
You die.
So depending on what the context is, could be very deadly. So
Don't love that you've made this harder than real blackjack.
So.
And what about splits? Are there splits in this version of blackjack?
Can I straddle?
We're gonna keep it very, very, very simple.
Please do.
Yeah. So we're not gonna worry about soft 17s or anything like that. We're just gonna whoever has the best hand closest.
That's not simple at all. What if we both bust?
If it doesn't, it's not possible. The player reveals fully first. So if you bust, then I win automatically.
Oh.
If you don't bust, then I go, and then if I bust, you win. So.
Okay.
I love how Christian had to one-up me.
It's a nice knife. So.
Mine were pretty awesome too.
And Chris has a beluga
I apparently
whale.
ended up with an eggplant.
Beluga whale. I tried.
I thought maybe it was a deflated balloon.
It is.
Do you want me to draw
it's actually one of those inflatable
Oh
bats.
my god.
That
This
says
is
Neil
not
on
this
it.
is not how you
Yes.
draw a bat at all.
Right.
But
Yeah,
it
yeah,
has to be blue.
Yeah.
Made of aluminum.
You get the idea.
Yeah.
It has to be blue though.
All right. So here's the premise. The 4 of you are armed with whatever weapon you chose and whatever basic survival gear you think you need, have descended down into the woods. You've grabbed whatever you can, taken all the vials with you. You've split up the vials across you. So let's just say it doesn't really matter how many vials you have each, but you have an even number of them. And any one of you have enough that if they were gotten to a more official facility, they could be mass produced from the sample size you have. So basically, what I'm trying to say is if at least one of you survives, there is a good chance that the vaccine can be replicated or mass produced in some way. If yes. So those have been shoved into your knapsacks. You've kept them as secure and still as possible, so they won't get broken or whatever. And you've had to kind of leave the facility in a hurry The facility at this point has been overrun by other mad denizens of the surrounding area. So you've sort of been forced down the hill that the facility is on and are now standing at one edge of the woods. It's not quite the dead of night yet, but it's definitely it's sunset at this point. We're gonna say, just for simplicity's sake, it's our time of year, so it's sort of late fall, late summer, early fall. So it's like 7-ish. So you can still sort of see the sun a little bit above the horizon, but it'll be dark in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, kind of thing. It's much too large to circumnavigate, and from what you received from this mysterious conversation, this beacon you're supposed to be finding is somewhere in a clearing in the woods. Now, I'm going to give you guys your first decision branch here, and not all of you have to
Oh, can I hit somebody with it?
Not all of you.
Ow!
Yes.
Why'd you decide that?
Not all of you have to decide the same thing as well. You can split up if you like. You do have walkie-talkies, so you can stay in contact with each other. And these are alternate dimension walkie-talkies, so don't worry about range. I'm going to say unless the walkie-talkie's damaged or lost in some way, that you are able to communicate with whoever you need to.
Now, is that the one thing that separates them from us, is just their superior walkie-talkies?
So, that's it. That's right.
And the way they pronounce Italian foods.
That's right. Yeah.
No eyes in this
Italian
language.
food?
They all say bruschetta. Anyways.
Prosciutto.
No.
Pen.
Hell world.
Anyways, so there's 2 options, and each of you can make this option. Like I said, you don't have to collectively make the decision. It's up to you. You are kind of in a hurry because you can hear the sounds of ravenous hordes behind you, so you kind of need to make the decision very quickly. You have 2 options. You can take the path. There is a sort of nature hike path that is through this woods, or you can go through the brush. Now, here's the catch. The path will make progress through the woods much faster. However, you are going to be much more conspicuous. If there's anything in the woods, you will be much more noticeable. And consequences for getting caught by something will be much more dire. However, every time you succeed in an action, it'll be worth more than someone who's not on the path. If you choose the brush, you're much more inconspicuous. It's going to take you a lot longer to get to the clearing you need to get to, but consequences for failure will be much less severe.
How long have we been stationed here?
In this facility, it's been a few weeks. You've all come from whatever places you might have worked beforehand, and like I said, this is a big think tank meeting of the minds. You've come here to try to get this cure done. So it's been weeks and weeks of sleepless nights of trying to put this together.
Did we have a map of the area?
You have very rudimentary layout of the surrounding countryside. Like I said, you have a good idea that it's about a day and a half's journey to what you would consider the next clearing of civilization, which is why you would have much rather have preferred to set out on this trek in daytime, but the ravenous hordes kind of forced your hand. So most of the trek's going to have to be done at night. But you're predicting, if everything goes well, you should be reaching this clearing at noon tomorrow.
Ooh.
So.
All right, well, that makes the decision very easy. We hole up somewhere, we dig in for a bit, we wait for sunlight, and we continue on.
Yeah, we find a very large tree, and we dig a hole underneath it, and we sit in that hole until all the bad things are gone.
That takes a while to do, dig a hole.
This was certainly not one of the options that Nathaniel gave us.
Maybe just climb all the way up to the top of one of the tallest trees here and just hang out for a bit.
The ravenous hordes are right on your tails. You are going to have to make this decision very quickly.
But what if the trees are also trying to eat us?
Quick, more serious question here is,
yes.
Do we know how well the ravenous hordes climb?
they have not lost any of the motor skills of a regular person, so that would be down to the person chasing you.
All right, so they look like a limber fellow. You're in trouble.
Yeah, if you have the bad luck to be chased by a former gold medal athlete, right?
Then it is just that bad luck.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
With people going to hell, it's pretty much like everybody probably eating way too much and not a lot of exercise, and you know, like another difference with our world and them is that they didn't have programs to help kids with obesity.
Dr. Samuel Brass is going to take the path.
Okay.
So is Loveness.
Okay.
Dr. Doc Doctorson.
It's definitely a pop song.
Is also taking the path because we need to be smart.
Well, since Dr. Kell does not fancy getting eaten tonight, he is also going to stick with all the other weapons. I mean people.
Okay. So all 4 of you are taking the path. Okay. Then you start proceeding down the path. This is how this is going to work, gentlemen. And you might want a little piece of paper next to you or something, because I don't necessarily... Oh, actually, hold on. I might be able to just spawn an object here. Give me 1 second.
You could also pop it in the notebook if you want to write something for us. Or have us write something down.
Ooh.
Oh, stuff.
Oh, I was like, what's that instrument? And I realized it was you spawning.
That's the creepy instrument that gets played while you're being chased.
That's Thomas's guitar.
If everyone could grab 3 checkers, please. Those are going to be your hit points.
Got him.
All right. So here's the thing. Because you have all decided to take the path, your consequences for failure are going to be much more dire. Every time you fail an action that could bring you bodily harm, you will lose 2 hit points.
3 seems an odd number to give us then, huh?
Well, it would have been less if you had not taken the path.
We really want to end this quick, guys.
He didn't show us our health pool before we made a decision. This is unfair.
Exactly.
Reset.
Life is like that.
It's not life's like that.
Gonna reload from my last save state.
That begs the question.
We were quick saving, so
that begs the question, Thomas. What's your health pool in real life then?
That is none of your business. You think I would just tell that to somebody? That's how you get killed.
Damn, my plan almost worked.
If you are in a situation where you would die by dropping to 0 health, one other doctor may give you one of their checkers. In game, this is them saving you somehow. They can be creative.
But didn't you mention that you lose 2 per thing? So even if they gave you 1, if you were down to 1, you'd still go down to 0.
Yeah, but you get to keep going because otherwise you're out at that moment. You see what I mean? So it gives you one more chance.
So one happens after you hit 0. The one happens after you hit 0. It's like the stack in Magic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. So if you drop to 0, somebody can declare, actually, I'm going to rescue them and give them one of your checkers.
Health bullet.
You can, in that way, you can choose to heroically sacrifice yourself if you're down to your last HP to keep someone else alive. So you may not refuse this help. You are not allowed to go, actually, no, Dr. Kell doesn't need to help me. I'm just going to shoot myself in the head. If they choose to give you their HP, you have to accept.
Understood.
That's great.
I'll just give it right back to him.
Damn it, I don't care what type of
I throw myself in the way of the bullet. I throw myself in the way of them throwing themselves in the way of the bullet.
Eventually we do it so much that we're behind the bullets and nothing actually happens.
But I angle the bullet
back.
so it doesn't hit them, and it hits me instead.
Alright.
So, all of you have chosen to take the path. You begin
You've
to
chosen poorly.
You walk along the path. Like I said, darkness is coming, and the huge high trees around you make that even worse. Within minutes, if there was any more sunlight, it is gone, and you are surrounded by the sounds of wildlife, birds and crickets and cicadas and growls of something you hope not to meet on the path. And ever present on the back of your hearing You can hear the rustling of grass and the snapping of twigs in a very fast motion, a cacophony of pitter-patters of running feet and some crawling on all fours. And you know perfectly well that what that is. It's the horde. Just behind you somewhere. With any luck, you've lost them in the path, at least for now. As you continue walking, you come to you come alongside a brook, a very steady stream, and the sound of the slight rushing water comforts you a little tiny bit. The stream would be narrow enough to cross, although you notice that the water is going quite fast. As you come a few meters more, so you've been walking for about an hour at this point. The sounds of the horde have diminished, thank goodness, and you have come to an interesting sort of fork in the road. On your left, the path continues, it sort of curves around a slight hill. You can see a cave opening along this pathway, and you have no idea who or what might be in that cave. However, otherwise, the path looks pretty easy. It's on an angle, but not a steep one. It wouldn't be horrible to climb, and it keeps the area pretty open. But you do have to pass this cave. On the right-hand side, the path starts to narrow a little bit, and you probably realize you've come to some section of the path that hasn't been as artificially maintained. It narrows out, and you would have to pass through a couple of thick bushes and that kind of thing in order to get back to a regular part of the path again. You don't see anything particularly dangerous, but moving through the brush like that would probably be pretty noisy unless you move very slow. Alternatively, the path diverts a little bit off into a different direction on the other side of the brook. So you could cross the stream here and continue that way. And as I said before, your decisions do not need to be mutual. Thomas, since you were the first one to volunteer a decision last time, why don't we start with you, and we'll just keep that order. We'll go counterclockwise tonight just to shake things up.
Okay.
So, Dr. Brass, those are the three options you can see come to the fork in the road. Which one seems most appealing to you?
Death, or drowning death. Cool.
Now, you mentioned that the one side has some brush. Does that mean if we go that way, we take less damage if we fail? Since it is, in fact, brush.
That is to be seen. all you can
That
really,
was worth it. It was worth a shot.
All you can really deem is it would be noisy.
Mm-hmm. The cave. We see the cave. Does it appear to be lit in any way?
No.
No.
I would like to inquire as to how dry this forest seems to be.
It's so it's late summer, so yeah, pretty dry.
Okay, so this brush looks like it's one tinder away from going up then.
The leaves are starting to change color.
And you said the stream is moving pretty fast. What is it, like knee height, waist height?
I would say knee, thigh height. Yeah.
And how wide is it?
It's a couple of persons wide. It would take an active 3 to 5 minutes to wade across.
All right. I want to cross the stream, but before I go, I turn to the rest of the doctors and I say, I've got some rope in the pack here. If I can make it across the stream, we can make like a rudimentary sort of handrail, and it should be safer for everyone else to cross.
Well, I could also get a branch and lend you a hand there, and then you could walk down, and I'll do all the other stuff. I don't know. Also, we could possibly light that bush on fire. Draw their attention away.
It's kind of risky for the one set in the fire, but I mean, I'm gonna set this rope up. I don't know what you guys think, but
This is not my area of expertise. Go for it.
There it is.
I would be over here considering my sins and how I got to this juncture in life.
yeah, well, I think we're all considering that right now, Doctor.
But see, look, like you could take the knives and you could scrape it against the bat, and that'll create some tinder, and then like that. Ta-da!
I mean,
I'm thinking the only thing worse than cannibalistic zombies is cannibalistic zombies on fire.
I will also
agree with Dr. Kale over here.
I will also say, Dr. Doctorson, much with the fact that we have the rope as a rudimentary, survival supply. Like, I do have about 5 flares in my backpack. I don't know about you guys. So, like, the whole, like, scraping 2 sticks together method might be...
Well, now you just make me sound stupid. I could have... You could have said that beforehand. So we get across the river, we throw the flare, light up the bush, and then they're attracted towards the bush, and then we're long gone on the other side of the river.
Dr. Brass.
I think that's a good idea.
Dr. Brass is already ankle deep in the water.
I'm liking this, especially the part where we are far away from all the things catching on fire.
Okay, Brass, let's do it.
I will be having you deal.
Yes. For simplicity's sake, we'll keep it that way. All right, you have a
I'll
9
stay.
shine. You'll
How
stay.
can
Wait,
you see
before
your
you flip,
cards?
Before you flip or decide whatever,
You can't see the face down card until you flip. That's how Blackjack works.
aces
really?
are aces 1s, 11s, or either?
Up to you. It's up to you.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so you have
Bodes
a
poorly.
14.
This bodes poorly.
So
No,
15.
I thought the face down card.
Try
if you see it,
15.
You know what you have, but you don't know what other people have.
Nope, not in this version.
No.
Oh.
So, no.
Okay.
Yeah. 1-on-1 Blackjack, you don't know what you have face down. So.
All right, you
Okay.
win.
You beat me. So
I'm glad.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Oh, yeah, just hold on. Leave it alone. I'm trying to group it back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's what I was doing, but fair enough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll handle
Okay, so
that. No
you
worries.
want to do all of the card handling, right?
Yeah.
And so
All
if
right,
you just
I will
turn us off from handling.
I will no
cards.
longer touch cards. Don't forget to shuffle that, though. I don't know how they put it back in the deck.
I did. Yeah, you can just hit the R button to shuffle. So.
Touch.
There we go. Okay,
Touch.
Dr. Brass, you make it across the river without any problems. Yep, you're a sturdy dude. You managed to make it across, no problemo. Your guitar stays unwet as well. Very nice. And now you're across the stream.
All right, I tie off the other end of the rope to a tree, having tied the first end off on the other bank.
Okay. And everyone else who wants to cross the stream can do so without having to make a check. Thanks, you are now assisted by Brass. So Doctorson goes across. Does Kellen Loveness follow as well?
Of course.
Okay. So everyone stays together. All right.
Dr. Kell is wanting to be on the other side of the water if we are setting everything on fire.
Right. All right. So all 4 of you are now across the stream. Are you now going ahead with your plan to light the brush on fire with the flares?
Well, you see, we should have like some of us go ahead, and then like, well, I can catch up to you. So like, if you give me a flare, I'll like throw it, and then I'll run away.
Does the flare not get fired? Is a thing that you can shoot? Yes.
No, it's not a flare gun. You just have flares.
Oh,
like
it's
road
very
flares.
Disappointing.
Yeah, exactly.
Why were we not better stocked? We are like important doctors. How come we are getting the crap equipment?
I will say, and we should really think on this before we make a decision.
Was there not enough budget for like a half decent survival kit? We have like 3 band-aids in there, am I right?
I mean, to be fair, Kel, when you put it that way, like, we do have, like, a gun, but we don't have a flare gun, and that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, what do I need a gun for, right? A flare gun, I could see reasons.
Like, are we all Americans? We just have a gun at all times, but nothing else.
But anyway, what I was saying is, yes, it will probably be a pretty good distraction, but also remember, this is the late summer. Everything is dry, and we also are in this forest.
If we have
Who
to
knows
throw it
where that
in order to set the fire, then we also want to be like a long way away, because you're going to draw their attention to the big everything on fire bit.
Then let's get going. What are we standing here for? Let's go, 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 go.
I'm just saying maybe we could set some kind of rudimentary timer on it.
Yeah, I think we should just get out of here.
There's no timer.
I think our best bet is to get out of here.
Nice.
But I am a doctor. I could probably rig something up.
With
It would
what?
take time, though.
Well, we have
Band-Aid
rope.
and a paperclip.
What we don't have is time, really. Yeah.
Paperclip.
So, Kel wants to know if he understands the chemistry of the flares involved here. Are these magnesium flares?
Yeah.
All right. Then Kel would like to see if he can make a quick check to see whether or not he can rig something up using 2 of the flares, such that one of the flares, he takes the contents of the flare out, lays it in a short line across a little bit of rope that stretches across the bank there, and then sets that bit on fire so that it burns slowly and causes the magnesium flare on the other end of it to suddenly burn fast when the flames finally reach it.
Okay. Before we do the check for that, this will take time, so I will ask the other doctors, do you stay with Kel while he does this, or do you move along?
Yeah, I'm gonna campaign to move along a little bit, yeah.
It's fine, just you go bugger off, and I'll look after myself. Had lots of use, all of you have been to this point anyways. Except for you. You got me across the river, very good.
Yeah, I mean, if you think it's for the best, Kel, I'd rather we don't split off from each other, but
If me and my eggplant here will be fine.
it's called a bat, but yeah, when if you hold it at that angle.
I see all the kids using it in the sexting. I know what this is.
All right, so it sounds like Loveness is moving on. Brass is staying. Dr. Sin, what are you doing?
I am moving on.
Okay. Loveness and Dr. Sin move
Yeah,
on.
I will stay, yeah.
Okay.
I like the idea of like 2 and 2.
Okay. You have a 4 showing. I have a 3.
I'll draw.
Okay. You
I'll
have a
stay.
9. You have a 13. Okay.
Are you going to draw?
23.
No, he already went over this. If we bust, that's it.
Yeah, I went automatically.
Busted.
Yeah, you bust. Okay.
I need to see that card now.
So, in the process of it was I had to. In the process of rigging the flare, it goes off accidentally.
Oopsies.
And you are severely injured in the flare's eruption. So that is 2 HP you will forfeit.
What kind of junk magnesium flare is this?
Brass, who has stayed with you, is able to get you away from the center of the flame, and so manages to drag you to some semblance of. That won't work. It'll just respawn in midair. And so, can you just put them down somewhere? Whoever's doing that, please stop. Okay. So, Brass manages to drag you to some relative safety, but boy, did that hurt. And you probably don't want to try that again. Not only has it cost you a flare, but it's also cost you quite a bit of skin.
Okay, so, however, it did go off, so now that area needs to be on fire, right?
Yeah, the area definitely is on fire.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, so I am thinking I achieved my goal, and everything is fine.
Yeah, Dr. Kel, it was a really good. It was a really good timer. So well done.
Yeah, no, it worked perfectly fine, and I never needed that skin anyways.
What skin? Nothing bad happened. You did what you set out to do. It was great.
I never did like my eyebrows.
if we really haul, and I mean really haul, we might even catch up with them.
I am right on your. What is the word? Ass?
Tail feathers.
Sure.
It's tail feathers.
Tail feathers, Dr. Brass.
All right, as Brass and Kel move to catch up, Loveness and Darkerson, you have moved further along the stream. Probably not far enough that you don't hear the resulting flare, smell of skin burning, etc., etc. You probably left to put two and two together. And the two of you come once again to another branch. Brass and Kel, you'll catch up to in a moment. So, gentlemen, once again, the path branches here left and right. Both are elevated. The left path takes you down and sort of winds down a natural hill that you have come to along this path. The wind is sharp enough that you cannot see the bottom of the path or where it ends up going. However, the downward path seems to be a lot more sheltered. So if some of the horde has made it into the forest, it's very unlikely they would see you at the bottom of this natural hill. But who knows what's at the bottom. The right-hand side path elevates up and actually continues up this natural hill and around sort of the other side of the mountain. You can clearly see where this goes. It continues over and levels out at the top. However, there's a stretch of the path ahead where there is very little tree cover. There's still trees obviously on the edge of the forest, but immediately to your left and right, there's no trees. There's just sort of short little shrubs and tall grass and that kind of thing. You might counter a Rattata. So you'll be much more conspicuous there if there is anyone in the human or otherwise.
Okay, well, we got a choice here, and I got a gun, you got knives, so down or up?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say down.
Down? Yeah, okay. You know what we should do? We should leave a marker here to let them know we're going down.
Yeah, I'll take care of that. I'll write something in one of these trees.
Cool. I'll go for it, just down a little bit, and
Loveness starts carving arrows.
Dr. Loveness forever.
DLL.
Yeah, Doctorson Loveness forever.
Nice.
Ooh, what a turn.
Nice. Okay, so did I hear that correctly? Dr. Doctorson is going in front as you guys proceed down the...
Yes, with the pew 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 machine.
Correct.
As via my drawing.
Okay. Yes, I see that. All right. As you get to the bottom of the hill and lead, there's suddenly a blur of motion. You hear a roar, or scream, or something. Anyways, it's moving at you lightning speed and instantly to shoot at whatever might be coming your way. So here
Sorry, you were cutting out there for a second.
Oh, I was? Okay.
Yes.
I said as you came to the bottom of the hill, suddenly there was a blur of motion to one side. There was a roar or a scream, something to that effect. You didn't have time to process the noise. You just had time to process there's something coming at me, and you swing and bring the gun to bear.
Pew pew pew.
You have a 6 showing.
Hit me softly.
Okay, you have a 14.
Be gentle.
I'll stay.
And that's a bust.
Oh no!
What'd you get?
I got a 2.
Oh, that's a bust too. Look at that. You both lose.
You swing the gun around, but your shots fire wildly over the shoulder of something, and you still aren't quite clear what it is. Vision in the darkness, something heavy with sharp claws or knives swings past you. It leaves a terrible. It leaves a terrible. Actually, no, I won't finish my 10. It leaves a terrible gash across your chest. Not enough to spill your guts out or anything, but enough to be very, very painful. And you fall sort of back onto the ground in surprise. And whatever it was that attacked you sort of just shoot straight into the woods behind you and is gone in a moment. That will cost you 2 HP.
But we're not in the path anymore. We're in the bush.
Oh, Nathaniel, you have so much HP.
Thank you. Hey, stop.
I only have
stop,
one. I only have
stop,
one.
Stop.
I only had one.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kirk, please.
So, Loveness, you almost certainly hear this kerfuffle at the bottom of the hill and finish your lovely drawing, I'm sure, and come down in time to see a blur of motion shoot into the woods to one side and the gash that's been left in. Oh, not to mention, you've heard the gunshots.
Oh, jeez.
And you
Pew,
see the
pew.
gash
And-
left in Doctorson's chest.
And just out of curiosity, how many gunshots was that?
2.
2, okay.
He goes
Noted.
Like, bam, bam.
Gotcha.
Oh, jeez.
Cal and Brass, you're starting to catch up now, so probably, if nothing else, you definitely hear the gunshot. So,
Oh yeah, that bodes well. That bodes well.
all right. So by the time Loveness has gotten Doctorson back on, or Doctorson has gotten himself back to his feet, Cal and Brass, you've come to the top of the same clearing. You've seen the little writing on the ground to indicate that they've gone down, but the two of you don't need to make the same choice.
All right, Kel, what are you feeling? Because obviously they went that way, and also they shot the gun a couple times. So
My decision making is questionable today. I am thinking that, however, we want to go away from the screaming.
yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same thing, right? Like, sure, they got the gun, they got the knives, and also, they're our respected colleagues or whatever. But
They are so
like-
smart, they will be just fine. They will come and meet us and everything. We will have a party. But in the meantime, we should try and go somewhere where there is not shooting, especially if they are a doctor. They are not like a marksman. What if they are shooting and they are shooting us?
shooting us.
Not on purpose, but they just be
Oh,
shooting.
I see. I thought you meant like those bullets were meant for us the first time. But yeah, I see what you mean. Right, yeah.
Not with all this screaming. Like when I show up, it is not screaming. No one is like, oh yes, Dr. Gell, oh my god, ah. I mean, maybe someday.
I know I was excited to see you. But before I make my decision here, Nathaniel, could you describe the upper path one more time, please?
Yes, so the upper path, unlike the left side path, goes up the hill and curves around slightly to the left. It's very obvious where it goes. You can see it go back into a wider path further up ahead. However, as I mentioned earlier, there is a stretch of it where there is no tree cover. No immediate
It's
tree cover.
very,
otherwise.
very conspicuous.
Yes.
Right. Well, if we go that way, we're going to be pretty obvious on the side there. But on the other hand, that means anything else coming at us will be very obvious. And also, we've got a fire that way and gunshots that way, so there's already enough distraction going on,
I am hoping you are right. I will lead
Yeah.
with the eggplant, and you can bring up the rear with your baguette.
It's a guitar. I took the strings off and made garrote wires. That seemed like a good,
That is very clever.
So I'm going to use it as a club and then maybe as like a stealth weapon. But
I feel like if you are close enough to use a garrote wire, though, things are going very badly.
Or going very well if I manage to sneak up on them, like.
Oh, you are like super stealth guy. Okay.
No, not at all. But
Oh,
you don't know what's going to happen, right? I mean, if you had told me yesterday that we were going to be stuck crossing the woods to meet a guy that we'd never even heard of before, and you were going to light your hands on fire, and Doc Doctorson was going to dump, like an fifth of a mag, you know what I mean?
let us get going.
All right, I think we're taking the upper path.
Okay, excellent. All right, so like I said, it is fairly conspicuous. Now, I won't put. I want to put words in your head. So if you, the players, have another method, but I will propose 2 ways of crossing the sort of open area of the path. Number 1, you can try to stealth across, like move very quietly, try to stay low to the ground, do the whole like crouching tiger thing, crouching tiger, hidden doctor. I had to make the joke. Sorry.
No problem.
Option number 2.
Contractually obligated.
Option number 2, you book it. Like, you just book it across the part that's conspicuous back into the tree clearing.
I kind of like the idea of trying to be stealthy because as I already mentioned,
elsewhere.
Yeah.
As I already mentioned, there's a lot of other stuff going on in other places.
Right. Makes sense.
Really ought to give us an edge here.
All right. So, you are both going to play against me then.
Gonna stick.
All right. Okay.
I will stick.
All right. You have a 20. You have a 19.
Oh, so you get to see ours before you choose whether to draw or not?
Yeah. But I can only draw once.
That feels like pretty highly stacked against us.
Yeah. Well, that's how the house wins blackjack.
Well, no. There are other rules in a casino.
It's true. So, like I said, we're playing a very basic.
So we're dying tonight.
Did I beat you, or because we tied, do we go again, or what?
No, you're good. You're good.
Alrighty.
And I'm good also since my cohort succeeded.
So yeah, it's a combo action. So what happens here is you guys take low to the ground, and so as long as you didn't bust Thomas there because Chris succeeded, you're fine. So
okay, that's good.
Going forward with partnered actions like that, as long as one of you succeeds, as long as the other person doesn't bust, they get to sort of piggyback on the success.
Neat.
I'm starting to see the greater rule set here.
Yes. Yeah. So I invented this rule set a half an hour ago, so
it's not a bug, it's a feature.
That's right.
You're missing 2 cards in your stack there, yeah.
Oh, whoopsies. There we go. Okay. So the 2 of you get down low and manage to sneak your way across. You are pretty sure at least one of you hears another footsteps of someone else, and if one of you peeks up a little bit, you can see across through the thick grass and brush. You can see the figure of another humanoid-looking person sort of wandering around, kind of doing like the stopping and going like from side to side kind of thing. There's a bestial nature to this person that betrays that they're definitely not one of your fellow doctors.
Must have been the wind.
They're sort of hunched over, almost gorilla style. And they're just kind of very quickly looking from side to side and looking up and kind of just like got their teeth bared strangely, and they're like sort of like shaking on the spot kind of thing, like they're very anxious, and then eventually they turn away and skitter off into the woods. And the 2 of you manage to stealth your way back into an area which is a little bit more heavily wooded. So
nice.
All right. So now we come back to Loveness and Doctorson.
You already are a super stealthy guy. It's easy.
We come back to Loveness and Doctorson. After your brush there with almost death, the 2 of you are back up on your feet. Remember, always with the party. You're back up on your feet, Doctorson. Loveness has joined you. And the 2 of you kind of assumably look around to see what that blur of motion was, but it's long gone.
Are you sure you're all right there, Doctorson?
Well, I was trying to look around and I thought I was doing a pretty good job, and then thing jumped out and went poo poo, and yeah,
jeez.
Ow. So let's not split up again because
yeah, now we're gonna have to stick together, I think.
But where to now? Do we just keep going? Do we go back up?
Well, I can't see anything that's headed for us now.
I imagine your character putting his hands on his hips when he's doing this.
I mean, I am doing that right now.
Yeah.
And
like,
you have like
Hmm.
like the sun-screened nose.
It's
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know if we should. I don't know if we should go meet the others. I don't know where
well,
they are. If they're
we did
following
leave a
us,
note, so they're gonna come down here if anything. So
they know where we are. We told them. So if they're gonna meet up with us, then they're gonna meet up with us. So let's just keep moving.
sounds good. Let's do it,
It
but cautiously this
that's
time,
that.
because I don't want to die.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
Well, that's up to you, I think.
it feels like I've lost like 2/3 of my blood so far, but that's just an estimation.
Yeah, you're not looking so hot there, Dr. Doctorson.
Hmm.
Yeah, if only there was a doctor in the building.
Yeah, I'm mostly focused on biology,
He's a
so
chiropractor.
yeah. Hmm. It's not gonna be it for you.
Hmm.
Um, yes, yeah, you're all like I said, you're all scientists, really. So, none of you are the turn your head and cough kind of doctors. Unless you do that
Once
on the
upon a
side.
time, maybe.
No,
I'm
you,
a I'm a dentist. We've been over this.
yes, right. A dentist who plays guitar on the weekends. You're in a band, or we're in a
I'm
band.
so much of a doctor, I don't have time to be a doctor.
Yeah. All
I
right.
will. I did want to say on this planet, like
Mm.
everything is being translated to English. The
Mm.
word for doctor on this
Mm.
planet is not doctor because
Mm.
that would be ludicrous in the case of Kirk's character.
Yes. Yeah, it's gotta be someone else. Anyways.
You
Uh,
got a problem with my name, son?
No, your title mostly.
yeah. He's Justice. He used to be Justice Doctor, said he switched careers. Uh, the two of you continue along this path, and you find that this path is pretty winding. It kind of like there's obviously a natural sort of curve to it as you continue, and it's a bit nerve-wracking because you keep having that scenario of like, well, there's a little bit of a corner we have to round. Nothing too serious yet, but at this point in your journey, it's been a couple of hours, and so it's sort of now officially the dead of night.
Mm-hmm.
It seems there's definitely no going back out of the woods at this point. And without your flashlights, you are going to have a hard time moving forward at the pace you have. So here is your next decision, gentlemen, for the two of you. Bust out your flashlights and make this part of the path a cinch to navigate. But also, busting out your flashlights might alert whatever that thing was that attacked Doctorson. If you don't
Counter
take your
offer.
flashlight, if you don't take your flashlights out, oh, you have a counter offer?
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. If you don't take your flashlights out, uh, it'll take a little longer to navigate these woods here, which means that if the horde is following you somehow, they might catch up, but you're definitely not going to be conspicuous. There will be no light shining. So
Oh,
definitely being spotted, but going much faster. A slight chance of maybe being spotted, but having to go slower.
counter offer.
Okay.
Being the doctor
Yeah.
that my father wanted me to be,
Nice.
because I'm Doc Junior, Doc
Nice.
Doctorson.
Nice.
Yeah. Uh, um, I know for a fact that when a person needs to see where they're going but remain quite stealthy as they do,
Mm-hmm.
you have such things as hooded lanterns and
Mm-hmm.
aiming the light towards the ground but
Mm.
covering it the rest of the way.
Okay.
So my counter offer is we
Yes.
use our flashlights
Okay.
if we decide to go that route,
Mm-hmm.
but we are smart enough to prevent unnecessary light from guiding us.
Okay.
So
Uh.
whether that's covering part of it with our hands or taking some fabric from the clothes that we have and wrapping it, and
Mhm.
basically creating like a dim diversion, because all we need
Yes.
once our eyes adjust to the darkness we don't need a lot of light to be able to see where we're going.
Oh, it's true. You're absolutely right. Okay.
So that's my counter offer.
I accept your counter offer. The three of us will play blackjack, but if you lose, it will not be fatal. It will just have some other consequence later on.
Cool.
And this is representative of just like, did you accidentally shine the light too high?
Yep.
Did like it start flickering? Something like that. This is
I
more
get
of a
you, boo.
look thing. So, but it's okay if you mess this up. You do not. This will not be fatal. So Christian, you have an ace showing, so that ace can be a 1 or an 11. So it's a very flexible card. I'll let you call first.
I'm gonna stay.
Okay. What about you, Kirk?
I'm showing a 4.
Yes.
So
and
let's
I have a 9.
see. The worst that can happen is I have a 10, because an ace could still be a 1.
Mm-hmm.
So 14. So the most I want is a 7.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, that's right.
I have a lot. There's a lot more number cards than there are face cards. So I think odds are in my favor. So I'm going to give me a good smack.
Okay.
Fuck. Of course.
Just need to get it. Oh no.
Bust.
There it is.
And Christian, you have a 16. So.
What was your card?
And I have a 12. You beat me. So, there you go.
Yes, but the other player busted. We already talked about this.
Yep. So Christian, Dr. Loveness succeeds.
Oh yeah.
But because Dr. Sim busts, he does not get to piggyback off of your success. So at some point, Dr. Sin, you trip over a branch or something, and your headlamp swings out from looking at the ground and sort of hands a section of the trees above you. Not a lot, and you manage to and sort of get back down, looking down at the ground and focus it again. But if somebody was paying attention to that, they will have seen that swing.
Okay. So no drop bears, thankfully.
Yeah, not yet. Like I said, that draw was not fatal because I liked your counter.
Cool.
We gotta move.
It will have repercussions. Loveness, you are aware that his flashlight sort of swung wildly for a moment. So.
Great idea in practice, but I'm. Yeah.
Yeah. So
How about I give you a life?
No.
I think that you can only do that
if someone drops to 0.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So are we considered off the path at this point?
Nope, you're still on the path.
Oh.
So,
okay.
It's just a dark path.
Yeah, it's just a dark path because you've lost your light. So, now you have flashlights. Okay, so you get across the winding section of the path, and we'll come back to you in a moment. We'll see what the repercussion of Dr. Sin's moment there was. We'll come back to Kel and Brass.
This is why I don't play blackjack.
Yeah, you guys have stealthed across the open part of the field and have made it back into the clearing again. There's no sign of Dr. Sin or Loveness yet, but obviously the paths have yet to reconvene if hopefully they do at some point. Sorry. Up ahead, you stop for a second because you can hear muffled whispering. Now, when I say whispering, the people whispering don't seem like they're making actual, intelligible words. They just sound like they're going, just breathing out and grunting under their breath, kind of thing. There's at least 2 of them.
The sounds of human vocalizations, let's say.
Human vocalizations up ahead.
Mm-hmm.
They sound like they're just around the next bend. And it's impossible to know what direction they're going in at this point. So, you have probably a few minutes. It's more than likely they might continue down the path they're going. They might disappear into the brush, but they might also turn around and come the way that you're currently creeping along. So, what do? You might be able to get the drop on them if you swung around the corner.
Is there reason to believe that they're aware of us here?
There's no reason to believe that they're aware of you at the moment, no.
There's
just a chance they might turn around and spot you as you come up.
Is there an opportunity for us to get to a higher elevation from our current position? Like even a small hillock to climb or a little bit of rocks?
You can play with me to see what you find.
All right, but if I lose, then I die. It's just like I'm looking around for
Most
rocks.
likely.
I trip and fall and break my neck.
Or you make enough noise that the ferals are alerted.
Well, I'm not going to spend my life on something trivial like seeing whether or not I'm going to lose my life. So let's instead, I will turn very quietly to Dr. Brass. Doctor, I think that they are going to try to kill us if we just walk by. We should preempt them.
Dr. Brass silently hands him one of the garrote wires that he made.
Kel takes off his shirt and twists some bits of it around his hands so that he can grip the garrote wire, the X guitar string, without ending up having it dig into the flesh of his hands. Nods at Dr. Brass and starts to advance.
Now, very key question here. When Dr. Kel took off his shirt, how ripped is he?
Yes, the most essential of questions.
Well, not too ripped yet because he's not dead, but
Nice.
Well,
after they get their claws in him, very.
Well, because doctors in this universe are all like super jacked and ripped, right?
Well, naturally. That's why I'm going to get both of these guys in just one go.
Yeah, the word doctor in this universe is actually means MMA fighter when you translate it.
Actually, it's actually one of those words that has multiple meanings.
All right, so I think we're just going to try and choke these dudes out.
Right. One of you go for one, the other go for the other. And you're both using the garrote wires. Is that correct?
Yeah. I think so.
All right.
I'm going to stick.
Hold on.
Oh,
Now,
ace. That's
remember
bad.
my folly,
That's bad.
Thomas.
But I'm going to stick all the same.
There.
You're going to stick? Okay. Thomas?
But he has an ace, the most versatile card.
Yeah.
Nobody can summon that.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to hit.
Get a 2.
Still
Yeesh.
Awful.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have a 6 showing right now.
Even a 3 or another 4.
Maximum of a 17 right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he has an ace.
Minimum of a 7.
Yep.
If you also have an ace.
Yeah, but I obviously you would take the 17 at that point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If it's another 2, you'd have an 8. Yeah.
You know what? Weirdly, gonna stay.
Okay.
Yep.
We'll roll the dice here.
And Chris, you're staying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have a 19. You have a 16.
I have a 16.
And I also have a 16. So Chris.
Eyes are a victory, right?
That's a victory. So, bum ba bum.
Did it.
Now,
Did it
in that
together.
situation, Nathan, after you revealed, could you have drawn another card?
No.
No, once he's revealed his face down.
Yeah, no. So
no. Oh.
Like I said, we're playing a very simplified version. Normally, what happens in one-on-one blackjack is the dealer reveals his card after the player stays, and if I have less than a 16, I have to draw, regardless of what I have. Because I had a 16, I'm forced to stay.
That rule makes that rule makes the game so much easier for the player.
Yeah. So that's how that works. So because I had a 16, I stay. It's called a soft 16, and I lose.
Oh,
well, so he can beat me. So if I had a 15, I would have had to draw. So.
Well, right. if so, I guess we wrestle these guys down, right?
Yep, you've got them down. They're incapacitated. You can decide whether or not to kill them at this point.
I absolutely want to kill them.
Okay.
I want to be certain that this is a feral before I do the dirty deed.
There's no doubt. As soon as you have the wire across their throats, they're like howling.
Right.
Well, as much as they can. They're trying to claw at you. They're like kicking like a chimpanzee. Everything.
Right.
So.
All right. Well, once I've got them incapacitated, then I'm very sorry. Better luck next time. and give a sharp tug and a twist.
This is probably I don't know. I don't know if this is the first time you've taken a life. You can decide that for your character, but whether or not it is, you watch the life fade out of them, and there isn't anger, there isn't rage in their faces, even as you struggle, even as they were standing there. There's just terror, a kind of terror that drives someone mad. But at the moment their life begins to seep out, that terror fades. And just before they stop moving, there's a sensation of peace that floats across their face. Like whatever terrible affliction had them seized in terror gave up the ghost just before they died.
Well,
how you feel about that is up to you.
That was awful. But
I don't know. They seemed like not exactly happy, but better off.
Oh yeah, I mean, honestly, to me it feels like a mercy. Like, best thing we could have done was cure him, but we're working on it, and we ain't there yet. But
I'm sorry. Good luck on your next turn on the wheel.
Well, you know what, Kel? That one, to bring a bit of levity to the situation, that one, I would say it came down to the wire. And then Brass turns and starts walking.
Oh, boy.
I'm feeling like there's the need for sunglasses and also like some musical sting or something. And Kel follows.
All right. We're going to come back to you, Dr. Sin and Loveness. The winding and branching route that you have managed to wind your way across has given way back to straight path. And the night has worn on. You've come now to the early AM hours. Like I said, staying on the path made the journey much quicker.
Mm-hmm.
And you're pretty certain you may be hour and a half at this beacon, whatever that's supposed to be. However, as you continue to walk forward, you start to hear a similar description.
Sorry, you cut out there again.
Oh, start to hear what?
You start to hear mumblings behind you. The same kind of thing, not actually talking or that kind of thing, but just human vocalizations. Probably a couple of ferals that noticed Dr. Sin's light from earlier have started to follow the sort of proverbial scent of where it came from. They're coming from behind you. You have enough time that you could probably duck behind something and let them pass you, or duck behind something and ambush them. But you probably also have enough time that you could just try to book it.
Hey, Loveness. Good idea. I'll take one of the flashlights, I'll throw in the opposite direction, and we go hide behind something.
I'm in. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. So you toss the flashlight, and you hear it thud across the tall grass off to one side.
Hold on, I have some foley for this. It sounds like this.
Nice. Okay. And you hear the creatures grunt out in surprise for a second, and they start to move forward, and one of them is like fixated on the area flashlight, kind of just looking around. So let's see if you picked decent hiding places.
10. 6. Damn it. Fuck. Crap.
Well,
okay.
Well, I'm for sure gonna stay. Yeah.
You're gonna stay? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Stop giving me low cards, Nathan.
I can't help the deck.
Christ.
Just consider it dice rolls.
No.
That would be worse.
The unknown cards are bugging the living garbage out of me right now. It's ridiculous.
If it makes you feel any better, he shuffles the deck every single time, so there was no gaming that anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
What are you talking about?
Single time he deals cards, when he puts them back in the deck, he shuffles the deck.
I
So
know.
knowing what those downface cards are wouldn't have helped you. Oh, yeah, I mean, like right now it would obviously help you, but
Yes, like I'd be able to see whether I want to
But-
hit or not.
that's why it's hard.
Well, that's the whole point, though. Otherwise, it'd be
But I thought
No
with Blackjack you're
randomness.
supposed to see the bottom card, but I don't know.
No.
Texas Hold'em is
In what's it called? In stud poker, you get to see your hold card, but in blackjack it's secret.
A 6. Most I could have is a 17.
That's right.
I'm gonna stay. I've gotten screwed over twice now.
Okay, Christian stays. Kirk stays. So Christian has a 12.
12,
Kirk has a 14.
15.
Oh, 15.
15.
I have a 20.
there it is.
Okay.
oh boy.
Shit.
The ferals managed to spot you from behind your hiding places, and there isn't just 2 of them. There were 5. The others peek out from the woods as one of them barks out at a terrible, inhuman and they run at you with a speed you've never seen before. Loveness manages to stab one in the eye. Doctorson manages to shoot one down, but there's too many to get right away. Loveness, you're torn a bloody gash across your chest, and Doctorson, you're about to be torn limb from limb. But Loveness could save you if he'd like.
Can I just see if I drew a card what it would have been?
Sure. You would have gotten a 9.
Okay. I was
So-
screwed no matter what. All right.
Sometimes fate be like that.
Loveness does help Doctorson.
Okay, then it's a heroic sacrifice.
No.
Yeah. All right, Loveness, you jump in front of the last feral, and take a bloody gash across your jugular. Doctorson, you manage to use the distraction, the last feral in the head with your gun, and in the moment the clearing is quiet, and Loveness bleeds out at your feet. You have a couple of words, Loveness, before your life is forfeit.
We have the cure. You know what to do.
Loveness. I just clench his hand.
I keep coughing up blood. And then I get really quiet.
Blech.
All right, Dr. Luke Loveness is dead.
Dun dun dun.
Ba, ba, ba.
Kel and Brass, we come back to you. Same thing. It's been hours and hours, and the night has given way to morning. Again, staying on the path has made this journey quicker than you might have thought. And you're pretty sure you're only about an hour or so clearing. And for what it's worth, Doctorson, you get his steak knives.
Trade.
That's all that mattered.
Kel and Brass, like I said, you figure about an hour and a half away from the clearing. A little bit more of a burst and you'll be there. As you continue down the path, you're alerted to a noise and a snarl on one side of you. And you're not sure what it is at first. But looking across into the tree line to one side, you see a black bear. Not the black bear, but a black bear. And the bear looks really agitated. I don't know if you've ever seen like a really perturbed animal, like a zoo or something, that's like pacing back and forth, that's like bothered by something or like being harassed by another animal or something like that. But that's exactly what the black bear seems to be struggling against something you can't see. It's swiping and clawing at nothing as far as you can tell, and it's giving out roars not of rage or anger, but kind of like of like a desperate kind of like stay away from me or else kind of thing that animals do when
Uh-huh.
and you definitely both get a very strong sense that for all intents and purposes, Bear, whether real or not, feels like he is being cornered and actively chased at the moment. And he's just swiping and clawing and drawing everything. He turns towards the two of you and he's not really paying attention to either of you. You can tell the bear is just trying to get away from whatever it is. And he starts charging across the underbrush. In a moment, he is going to be directly where you are standing. And if any of you know bears very, very fast. What do you do?
Oh, he's just trying to
standing here.
Yeah, if he's just trying to get away and he doesn't seem to care about us, I'm going to move out of the way.
Yeah. Great. All right. So we will play, but because the bear is not necessarily intent on you, this will only be a 1 hit point cost if you fail.
Okay. I'm actually going to put a raise on that if I can, because I
Oh.
only have the 1 hit point to wager anyways, and say that I want to work out what it is that the bear is afraid of.
Okay.
So I'm going to try and
Very
jump to the side and get the heck out of the way, but
Right.
also, what's making the bear so afraid?
Okay.
Other bears.
I'm going to stick.
The
I
bears
also
eating
will stick.
bears.
All right. Chris, you have a 19.
19.
Thomas, you have a 20.
Nice.
Wow.
I have an 8. I have to draw.
Wait, I
8.
thought you said you
You have a
couldn't
17.
draw after you saw.
Unless he
If I
has
have
less than a
less than
16, in which
Yeah.
case he has to draw.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have an 8 and a 9. I have a 17. I can't draw again because I'm now over 16, so I lose.
Bum-ba-da-bum.
Both of you beat me. So you managed to both get out of the way of the bear. Earlier I didn't do that because earlier I decided not to hit. Both of you managed to get out of the way of the bear, and because you raised, as it were, that was very creative of you, Chris. The bear is, like I said, very obviously being actively chased. And actually, after a moment, both of you get like a chill down your spine. The kind of shiver you might get if you were like home alone and you like heard a noise and your imagination went, "There's someone in the house."
Won't say that right now. I'm home alone.
Are you feeling
Eric,
that shiver down your spine, by the way?
There is someone in the house, but it's you, so don't worry.
Yeah.
Aww. But I don't look at myself in the mirror for afraid of what I'll see.
Behind
but
you.
there's a shiver down your spine, and it's that kind of sensation, like there's something else there, but there's nothing there, right?
Oh.
I
get it now.
And the bear and something that sends a shiver disappear further into the tree line. Now would seem like a good time to progress further down.
I'm very unhappy with this location. I'm relocating post haste.
Yeah, let's start walking. That was not.
Yeah.
I didn't love it. Didn't love it.
I'm already far away.
Brass, Kel, you manage in another hour or so of hurried and desperate running and sneaking and climbing and crawling, manage to make it to a clearing. You've sort of broken out of the woods. And in a moment, Dr. Doctorson joins you, looking bloodied, but obviously alive. He is alone.
Hey, Doc. Loveness is right behind you, yeah?
Oh no, Doctorson. Your face is looking very sad.
Oh.
Yeah. Loveness is love loss.
That is a terrible blow.
He saved me.
He was a good man and a good doctor. I'm not sure what he was doctor of, now that I think of it.
Let's cure the fuck out of these bitches.
Alright.
I can't argue that.
As the three of you are gathered now in the clearing, all three of you get that shiver again. The sensation that there's something right behind you that You're not alone.
Oh
You
dear.
look around, but you don't hear anything. There's no grunts. There's no snaps of twigs. You're well familiar with what that sounds. But there's just that strange sensation. And in a moment you feel very clearly a puff of hot air. And all of you recognize immediately for what it is. It's something breathing, exhaling. And whatever it is, it's big, but you can't see it. Whichever of you look down first, notice that a portion of the grass has been...
Hold on, Nathan, you broke up again. Whatever it is you changed on Discord, I think you need to change it back. It has made it worse instead of better, I'm afraid.
Oh, well. Yeah, so yesterday, so just for everyone's knowledge, yesterday I changed this really quiet or something, and I turned something off.
Yeah, you're cutting out like half of your sentence.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm afraid so.
You
lost even your explanation. Not overall, just right now.
Yes, I will. I will say it's
overall,
been happening periodically.
Yeah,
it's been happening periodically through the night, but just now was the worst of it.
For sure. It's almost like you go below a certain decibel threshold and it doesn't pick it up anymore.
Yeah, I'm also occasionally leaning back from the microphone, so I've obviously turned amplifying it. So
yeah.
So please tell me every single time it happened.
All right.
I've been trying.
It just happened right now. Have you made the changes yet?
Oh, you want me to change it right now? Okay.
I'm afraid so, because otherwise people are going to keep interrupting you by saying, I didn't catch that, I didn't catch that.
Okay.
It's all good. We'll take a moment.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, you can't talk. You're supposed to be dead.
Yeah, I'm dead. Oh, God.
Well, no, now that you're just chilling, you're like, don't worry about it, guys. We can take a moment. I got nothing but time.
Loveness, you're back.
Hey, guys, this death stuff ain't so bad.
This ain't so bad, right?
Wait a minute. This
Y'all
is a
gotta
trick.
Try this.
Why don't you come join me? It's easy.
Okay, I turned back on the setting I had turned off, so let's see if that fixes it.
So far, it seems okay.
All right, so I'm going to do my description again. I'm very sad.
No, we caught the description. It was all the sentences after that.
The last thing that you were saying when it cut out was, if you look at the grass.
Okay.
Yeah.
And exactly that, pretty much.
But you got all the description of the hot breath and everything.
Right up till there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Alright, so whoever who looks down first at the grass, you see that the ground is indented. It looks heavy, like something like a rhinoceros or a hippo might make in the ground. All the grass has been flattened out in 2 spots. Whatever it is, it's heavy, it's big, and it's bipedal, and it's breathing on you. There's a sensation of motion and movement. And Doctorson, maybe it dawns on you that maybe this was the thing that blew past you before. Or maybe it was that scared bear from earlier blowing past you again from being chased by this thing. So we all need to play now.
I don't wanna.
Can I pass my deal on to Loveness, please?
All right, Chris?
Stick.
Thomas?
Are we playing by team rules if I don't...
Oops. Sorry, I need to me.
Yeah. Are we playing by team rules if I don't bust and they win? I'm good?
Yes. Someone can yank you out of the way.
I'll stick.
Okay. Kirk?
I only have a good card. I'm going to stay.
Okay,
I also like to live dangerously.
All right. Chris, you have a 12.
No.
Oh, no.
Thomas, you have a 16. Kirk, you have a 19.
Yes.
And I have a 12. I have to draw?
Yes!
Hey, there it is.
Hey, nice job, guys.
Big card. Pew, 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 pew. This is for you, lovely baby.
Whatever the terrible thing is, it lands in the center of you, but all 3 of you are able to duck roll or fly to one side and dodge out of the way of whatever stamps into the middle.
Should have wasted his time being ominous and breathing on us.
It levels the grass, Stream of Piccolo. It levels the grass around it. You get the idea that it like lunged forward and used like the upper part of its body, and so now it's landed like on all fours or whatever. The three of you barely have time to register what this thing is before suddenly there's a flash of brilliant light in the clearing. The entire clearing is flooded with this brilliant light, and there's a terrible, inhuman scream, and you just make out the outlines of something awful and terribly alien in front of you. It roars, and then it disintegrates, unable to stand up towards the beaming light. And in a moment, the light centralizes. Rather than filling the entirety of the clearing, it converges into one central point. And in a moment, that central point is a person. The man in before you wears lawn robes. Even here, you recognize him as something related to the clergy. He has a sort of stern look on his face. He looks old, traveled, and weary. And he doesn't smile or seem pleased. Just sort of firm and got a very serious, sort of focused look to him. He looks at the three of you. You are the doctors I spoke with over your radio device, yes?
I mean, spoke with. You gave us a directive to come to the other side of the forest. Spoke with is not what really happened. Are you God?
Yeah, you couldn't have like come closer. We were at a building, and you could have just like come into the building.
Right. I guess you're probably not God. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had to cross a. Well. Yeah, that's us.
You know, one of us died back there.
I'm sorry for your loss. I figured it would be dangerous, but we don't have a lot of time to discuss this right now. This had to be the spot. There's only a couple places on your world where there's dimensional fatigue. I can only enter in certain places. Otherwise, I might not have made it.
I am not understanding, but whatever
That
it
makes
is that
total
gets
sense.
us to the point of solving this problem, it's fine by me.
He nods and he looks saddened as he looks at the three of you. You have the cure, yes?
Yes, right here.
He looks around and says, "How much do you know of?" No, we don't have time to explain. I'm sorry, but someone terrible has unleashed this upon your world. It was a field experiment. None of you deserved this, especially the colleague you lost. And for what it's worth, I didn't cause this, but I couldn't stop it either. I'm sorry.
So what? We came over here for nothing?
Not for nothing. Your cure does work. I'm certain of it from the details you shared with me. The problem is, he looks back at the three of you. This world is too far gone, but your cure will save countless others.
Yeah, I figured that's what you'd say. Yeah, cool.
Well, I am not entirely pleased to hear that, but I mean, a doctor knows that they can't save every patient.
And what about us? We just stuck here?
He looks at the three of you. I can take you with me, but I have no idea what crossing reality borders will do to the three of you.
Rather than staying here.
Yeah, beats walking.
All right.
I think
Very well.
I will remain. I understand that this world is doomed, but this is my home. I don't know about these other worlds, but I am glad that they will survive.
Dr. Keel.
They don't need me, though.
You were instrumental in in part of this.
Yes, and my part is done. Go, and make sure that these things never happen again, anywhere else.
Dr. Brass walks over to Kel wordlessly, gives him a big pat on the back, and offers out his guitar.
Thank you.
I also leave my stuff behind.
I never learned how to play, but maybe I will have the opportunity.
Oh, yeah. And then I throw the strings on the ground as well. Yeah, you're gonna need those if that's what you're doing.
Yeah, and you can have this stuff too. I just don't want to be torn apart. So I don't care what happens to me at this point. So here you go. Oh, and if you find Loveness out there, please give him a proper burial if you can.
Yes.
Yeah, I figure the way I see it is I've already been pretty lucky today, so even though this guy doesn't know what's going to happen to us, hopefully luck will continue to be on my side.
And I wish you the best of luck.
So,
likewise.
Dr. Robe, guys, what's going to happen to this planet? This place?
Honestly, I'm not sure. But I don't know how much longer you'll have, Dr. Kell, but I respect your decision. I lost my world a long time ago. Though I don't regret my current job, I still miss it. I wonder every day if I made the right decision.
I am glad that there is someone like you who is able to help other worlds. But... And Kel just sort of looks around at the forest, still beautiful despite all the terror that it holds. Everything comes to an end.
If I may, especially for the doctor that's staying behind. Can we get a name for our savior?
He nods at all of you. My name is Valen. Valen Mortal. I am a traveler. You don't know what that is yet, but I'm going to teach you. Are you ready to leave?
I suppose so.
Yep, got nothing here.
Farewell, Kel.
Good luck, friends.
We'll see you in another life, Dr. Kel.
On another turn of the wheel.
Valen's eyes flash, and after a moment, him, Brass, and Dr. Sinner disappear.
Kel
the vials.
Puts his baseball bat on one shoulder and lifts the guitar to the other and heads off into the woods.
Getting about the knives and the gun?
Well, he doesn't really, he only has the two hands. Maybe he tucks the gun in behind there after gingerly holding. Where is the safe? This is the safety, right? Oh God, I hope this is the safety. And puts, tucks it into his waist belt there and then heads off in the direction of where he thinks Loveness might be.
Right. Give him a burial. Gotcha. Gentlemen, you have brought the vials to a traveler. Though you cannot save this world, you will save countless others. If my hint about the mist was too subtle, then I encourage you to check out We Don't Negotiate with Terrorists, my previous one-off, to learn some more about the puzzle. In the meantime, gentlemen, thank you very much. This concludes our session tonight.
Yeah.
Tune in next week for Dr. Samuel Brass, interdimensional dentist.
So before we go, I think hold on, leave the cards where they are. I think what we need to do is give Christian the honors of flipping the table.
Yes.
If the game will allow him.
Yeah.
Oh boy, again?
We tried this.
Yeah.
Yeah, this dog ain't gonna hunt.
Yeah, because you only get to flip it on a natural 20 if you're not the host.
And it doesn't let you roll a natural 20, as far as we are aware.
Unless you just got very unlucky.
Because we tried for a long time.
How about this? I'd like you to shuffle the deck, and I want to play one last game with you, Nathaniel. One last
game for his soul. He's playing with death.
That's right.
Join us next week for Loveness's journey through hell.
Yeah, that's right. He's going through the underworld.
Right.
We're going to rescue him.
Don't worry, Loveness. It's me. Don't worry, Loveness. It's me, the interdimensional dentist, here to save you.
All right.
I clean up villainy like plaque.
There you go, Ghost of Loveness. You got a 4. I also got a 4.
Hit me.
All right. 14.
Oh, God.
No, sorry, he's gone. He left a minute ago.
Yeah.
All right.
Like.
He stays. Yeah.
That's it.
24. I'm
Fuck.
sorry.
Actually, this is not blackjack. This
bum.
is better jack, where you need to
Nice.
hit 24.
Nice.
Nice. Well done, Christian. You hit the exact number.
How
Yeah,
did you
there
do
it
it?
is.
Kind of
Tell
dope.
us your secret.
All right. Well, good night. Till next
Good
time.
night, everyone.
Take care.
Is that the first time I've ever died?
I think so.
I think so.